Now, Rwandan President Paul Kagame recently announced he intends to seek a third term in 2017. It was originally limited to 2 terms, but in 2015, Rwanda approved changes to the constitution that would effectively allow Kagame to stay in power until 2034 if he wins elections. Some feel that there is very little room for anyone else within the regime or outside it to form a significant opposition political power base. One man wants to do that. He wants to change that. Paul Rusesabagina has been hailed worldwide as a hero for saving more than 1,000 people at a hotel he managed in Rwanda in 1994. His story was portrayed in the critically acclaimed movie Hotel Rwanda, starring Don Cheadle. Mr. Rusesabagina, who is now the president of the Party for Democracy in Rwanda, PDR Ihumure, has announced he will challenge President Kagame in the 2017 election. Mr. Rusesabagina, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you.
Now, you are a man who, is now well known because of being portrayed in Hotel Rwanda. But what inspired you into wanting to actually get into politics and run for president of Rwanda?
There are many reasons that inspired me to think about doing the right thing. Before 1994, and even in 1994, I think I did what my own conscience dictated or advised me to do. It was to help save lives.
Yeah.
That time, millions of people were being killed in that country. So I stood up for a cause. The cause was to save lives. But even this period when it ended, this was July 1994, on July 4th, when the Rwandan Patriotic Front took over the whole country. We thought that mass massacres were finished.
Yeah.
But we saw this, unfortunately, repeating itself.
You mean after 94,
Yeah, after 1994,
there has been more killings?
More killings.
And now you believe that you can actually go in.
So I believe that.
Yes.
It is high time that Rwandans stand up.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to challenge Kagame for the elections of 2017, but to stop what has been going on.
Yeah.
Maybe as journalists and the audience which is seeing us, they know what happened to refugees in 1995, displaced within the country. More than 80,000 people were butchered in just 4 days.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Rusesabagina, you are a wanted man in Rwanda. Some years back, the government of Rwanda said that you were funding rebel groups in Congo, and therefore they were waiting for you to arrest you and charge you. Question is, how realistic is your ambition? Can you actually go back to Rwanda now?
My ambition is not that limited. It is not that short. My ambition is on a long-term basis.
Yeah.
I want to stop a man who is telling us that he will lead our country for the next
So
20 more years.
It's going to start 2017. Are you able actually to go back home and rally people to support you to run for this office?
I'm not necessarily running for 2017.
Yeah.
Suppose Kagame gives me the key of his office and tells me today, listen, Paul, this is your office. Am I going to get into that office? No. My main objective, the reason why I'm getting into politics is, of course, to change that attitude of a man with an elite controlling, manipulating everything in the whole country.
But you know that Kagame has actually enjoyed goodwill from the international community for having revived the Rwandan economy, brought us relative peace after stopping the genocide. Is it easier to counter that? And do you think he has probably squandered the goodwill?
Well, I think he has rather squandered the goodwill he had. Would he have accepted to go and not to manipulate the constitution, Kagame would be a hero forever. And this is what he had promised his people outside, his allies outside the country, the international community, I mean. In his own words, he said, I quote, they say I'm going to represent myself in 2017. This is about a year ago. If I present myself in 2017, it means that I have done nothing. I never trained younger generations which will take over from me. And we have seen what he did. He changed the constitution.
Question is, though, did you at any point actually support rebel groups in Rwanda? They claimed you were supporting FDLR in Congo.
That is simply a pure lie. I never supported any rebel group. They tried to kind of smear my name through the United Nations. The United Nations did their investigations, and they had even fake documents saying that I sent $1,800 to the rebel group to support them. And I told the UN guys that would I have sent the 1,800? With 1,800, how many weapons can one buy?
All right,
nothing.
Now, in the last few seconds we have, so now, how is your standing with the system? At some point you said your life was under threat. Do you feel safe, whether in Belgium, the United States, or anywhere on the continent of Africa?
I can tell you that I never felt safe since 2000. When I started this struggle, moving around the world, talking about what was going on in Rwanda, when everybody else was kind of silenced. So I was the only person, Paul Rusesabagina, standing and getting into different offices, getting into the international community, talking about what was going on in Rwanda.
We hope you get safe so you can come back and tell us about your efforts. Paul, thank you very much. That's Mr. Paul Rusesabagina, who is the president of the Party for Democracy in Rwanda, PDR Ihumure.